What is happening, people? My name is Robbie, and today we are reacting to another video. This is a surprise to me as much as it probably is to you, but these videos do well. People seem to like them, so as always, if you like them, I'll keep doing them. Today we are reacting to another Charlie Chang video. Very informative videos, entertaining, business and finance, you know the drill. Today's video is asking college dropouts how they became millionaires. And we're starting off the video nice and strong in front of an Audi. I think that's an e-tron GT, I think. Maybe he'll tell us what kind of car it is, maybe he won't, but I'm not going to hold this up any longer because I'm learning that retention is best and waffling is not. So here we go.
Hey everyone, so in today's video, we are talking with college dropouts and asking them how they became millionaires. I'm super excited for this video because every single person we're talking to today has done some really remarkable things without a college degree. We'll be talking about their stories, their advice for new entrepreneurs, and how they would go about making money today. And behind me, we have the 2022 Audi e-tron GT. This is
Banged it. Banged it. I like cars. It's one of those things that I'm quite confident about until you ask me to look under the bonnet of a car and I cannot identify my arse from my elbow. That's probably because neither of those belong beneath the bonnet of a car.
one of the coolest cars I've ever seen. It starts at about $100,000 and it's an all-electric beast. It does 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, has a top speed of 152 miles per hour.
This is an ad. Why didn't I consider the fact that this is an ad? I'm being sold a car and I can't afford it.
And this specific car is a really beautiful Kimura gray with red interior.
Very nice though.
It's actually built on the same platform as the Porsche Taycan, but in my opinion, I think this one looks much better, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. So yeah,
That's a good idea. It says that he's going to showcase a new car for every video. I don't know if that's a business decision in terms of if there's some sort of sponsorship or if he just rented that car for the day to make the video more exciting, but it's worked. It immediately caught my eye. Before I even pressed play, I mentioned the fact that there was a nice Audi in the background, so even if it's just for his own videos and there's no ad that comes with that, it worked.
I'm a huge believer that you don't need to get a college degree to become super successful, and I really do believe that the whole education system does need to be changed. Everyone we're talking to today is a prime example of someone that has crushed it without a college degree. So let's go meet our guests.
Asking millionaires questions. I feel like that title is basic. I feel like there's a word missing from it. Asking millionaires questions on finance. Asking millionaires interesting questions. I feel like there's a word missing, but I don't know what it is.
Your name, age, and what do you do?
My name is Sylvia Preciado. My age is 36. I actually just turned 36. My husband and I have a real estate, a mortgage company, and a self-improvement company.
My name is Michael Rashid King, but people know me as Mike Rashid, 45 years.
Love Mike Rashid. I've been following Mike Rashid forever. I know it doesn't look like I'm the target demographic because he's a big bodybuilder, fitness guy, but talks a lot about business as well, and I've followed him for a long time, so this will be interesting for me.
So essentially, I guess I am a fitness influencer. I am a professional boxer. I am a serial entrepreneur.
My name is Cassandra Williams. I'm 43 years old and I consider myself an entrepreneur. My main line of business is environmental consulting, industrial hygiene.
My name is Adam Tutunji. I am 24 years old and I run a kind of like a sales and marketing consultancy. It's like a online coaching.
That seatbelt under the shoulder, it's not going to help them if they get in a crash.
Program, so yeah.
My name is Aaron Amoroso. I'm 29 years old. I'm a realtor and a loan officer and now dabbling into investing.
So tell me your dropout to riches story in 30 seconds or less.
Okay, so I'm a young dad, so I had to figure it out. Graduated, got my associates, transferred to a 4-year college. My business professor was a Harvard graduate and he disclosed his income to our class and I realized I was making more than him, so I made that decision that day. After this semester, I was going to go ahead and drop out and, just double down on learning about the mortgage industry, learning about real estate, investing.
I went to Arizona State. At that age, I wasn't really focused on my career. Out of necessity, I learned how to sell things. Back then, I sold weed, I sold marijuana. I think I was already a fit person because I worked out all my life because I started boxing at a young age and I kind of came in.
Selling weed or any other drugs or illegal substances, say what you want. Good business people a lot of the time, especially if there are large quantities of said substance. There's a lot on the line there. You've got to know what you're doing. It's quite important that you get your numbers right and you sell all your products and your marketing's right and all the various facets of running a business, those all apply there. You just can't really tell Companies House and HMRC and stuff like that. But there are a lot of people. Jay-Z used to be a drug dealer and now he's very rich. I'm sure there were some transferable skills there.
With that wave that kind of created that space.
So I was brought up to believe that college was a way. I went for one day, El Camino College in Torrance, and I didn't even register or anything. I had a friend that went there. I sat there for a couple of minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. So I basically left and never went back, and I just started waitressing and bartending. I met my husband, got into real estate. He was a lender, and then we started growing this company together.
So I was a foster youth. I was in and out of group homes from the time I was 12 to 15. I got married at 15. I had 2 kids with the man that I was married to for 28 years. Put myself through high school.
Are you allowed to get married at 15? Was this in America? I don't know what the rules are in America, but I don't think you're allowed to get married here at 15. I'm not sure how ethical that is either, to be honest.
Started to go to college for nursing, and then started a business with my husband that I became CEO, major shareholder of, and grew to a multiple 8-figure company, and started other companies with other family members that have also been multi-million-dollar successes.
I dropped out of college really early. I was homeschooled my whole life, so dropped out at like 17. No idea what I wanted to do. Just learned by eating a lot of crap throughout the years, and then just kind of figured it out step by step.
All right, so describe a time that you went out of your comfort zone and what happened.
I am currently establishing our systems to scale to 8 figures, and what I've noticed, it's very, 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 very different to get from 0 to 7, from 7 to 8, and so that's a very uncomfortable position to be in because I'm basically relearning a lot of things from scratch.
I think that's strange, because one of the things that you hear in these motivational speeches and keynote speeches, podcasts, is if you can go from 10 grand to 100 grand, you can go from 100 grand to $1 million. Because you're just 10xing again. If you can go from 100 grand to $1 million, you can get to 10 million. Easy. So that's quite interesting to hear that he believes that it's a lot different, because you don't really hear that often. You often hear how simple and easy it is to get to $1 million, 10 million, however many million.
I got into the mortgage industry 22-ish, not knowing a lot about sales and negotiations, things like that. What I did 22, 23, 24 was I just dialed in sales and NLP. Psychology, understanding people, and I went from bottom to really high up in the ranks in my company.
I actually live out of my comfort zone. I know it sounds weird, but I've never been scared to ask for help or ask stupid questions. I've always been that person that whatever I want, I'm like, okay, how can I go get it? Yeah. What is the easiest way to go boop, 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 from A to Z the fastest?
What's the biggest failure you've had, and what did you learn?
I don't really look at things as failures. I look at everything as a learning experience, an opportunity to see how you messed up and how things could have turned out differently.
You come up short on a lot of things almost every single day, right? To me, I don't see failure the way most people see it. I don't really think of it as like, oh my God, I failed. Like, to me, everything, any mistakes I do, it's just it's a good learned lesson. I think of everything as a good thing. I don't really see much. I think failure is like putting out the white flag and saying I'm done. I haven't done that, so I haven't quit. So I don't really see anything as much as a failure.
What's the one habit that you do consistently that you think like really helps you make money or be successful?
I better not hear anyone say make the bed. That's like one of these very common things, is to be successful you need to get up and make your bed every day, because a tidy house is a tidy mind. No, getting up and working is how you make money, not getting up and making your bed or meditating or all these other things. They all do have their benefits, but if you're trying to increase sales or you're trying to start a business, making your bed and then meditating for an hour is maybe not the best course of action. But I hear it all the time. So I'm hoping this guy or none of the other ones say get up and make your bed first thing in the morning.
My perseverance, not stopping. Every single day I wake up and I give it my all, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad I feel, no matter how tired I might be, I always show up, and that's always paid off.
Gym is a big one. I've always worked out, even when I didn't know how to work out. So I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go for a run, and I would throw on my hoodie and go for a run. That was a workout to me. But gym, it just does something that I can't explain.
That's a non-negotiable for you,
non-negotiable, right? No matter what.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
See, I can agree with that, going to the gym or some form of exercise. She says that she considered a run a workout and now she doesn't or whatever, but obviously running is a workout. But for me, mentally, I know I'm not some sort of big, enormous monster, but if I don't get to the gym a few times a week, I definitely feel worse physically and mentally, if that makes sense. So I suppose I'm immediately going back on what I said about meditation, because meditation's probably has that effect on people the same way that going to the gym does for other people. So ignore what I said about meditation, but don't ignore what I said about making the bed, because it's a bullshit metric for being successful.
Yeah, it just feels good.
Yeah. Having a morning routine. My morning routine consists of this. I wake up early. First thing I
If he says make the fucking bed, I will do absolutely nothing, because he's a complete unit. But still, don't say it.
do is I go outside and I sit in the sun. I mean, that's your mood, your happiness, confidence, sex drive, like digestion. There's so much that comes with serotonin. So I need that dump early in the morning.
Okay.
And then I go and sit in meditation, short 5 to 10 minutes.
I knew it was coming. But I have just went back on it. So meditation, if that's what helps, that's what helps.
I might read a little bit, feed my dog, go to the gym, nice hard training session, and then I sit in the sauna. My business partner and I, we're training together, sit in the sauna, and then boom, shower and start my day. Morning routines is everything for me.
The ongoing...
See, I'm sort of torn by that, because I have complained about the make the bed thing, but at the same time I do have a morning routine, because as I've just said, I go to the gym 4 days a week ideally, and I try to go there for about 6:30, 7 in the morning. Fuck, I'm a hypocrite. Morning routine, going to the gym, maybe meditating. I take back everything that I said 45 seconds ago. I'm really sorry for being a hypocrite.
Pursuit of knowledge, of finding mentors and coaches, and I mean to an extreme. Like, I find extreme courses to join and extreme people to learn from. I do not like comfort. Comfort and complacency is, the enemy of progress and success. So I think that just that constant pushing the limits and pushing myself to be my best and surrounding myself with the best has gotten me to this point.
Name a book that has changed your life.
Definitely David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Again, he's extreme. I'm not as extreme as him, but it was inspiring, and it really made me think, like, where am I limiting myself? Where do I let comfort get in the way of success? And I mean emotional success, mental success, physical success. I love his delivery of the message, because I think as a woman, like, I am very vocal and a personality, and I can be intimidating, and I'm intimidating by a lot of people, and the fact that he is intimidating without apology just makes my heart soar.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
Albert gave me that book when I met him. He always has had books. In schools we're taught a certain thing that we don't really, no offense to the school system, but it's a little broken.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't teach you how to make money, how to get out there and get a job, make, good relationships. It's kind of things that we really don't ever use.
Chang. It was written so long ago, but it's so...
That's such an obscure book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad's a good book, especially understanding the concept of assets versus liabilities. That thing that Mike Rashid has suggested, Book of the Way and of Righteousness. Not my scene, I wouldn't think. But he definitely is the sort of art of war type of guy, I think.
Relevant to now, and the book is not big. It's not a lot of pages. It's 81 passages, insightful passages, but they're so heavy, they're so profound. I read a lot, bro. And one thing that aggravates me is books full of fluff just to have a lot of pages.
Right.
I don't need that. I just need the meat. And Chang is just meat, just wisdom. Everything you read is heavy. One of my favorite quotes from the book is, "He who defines himself doesn't really know who he is." Every time I read it, I get something different out of it.
Okay. Who's your role model?
So his name is Chang. He's my business partner, one of my best friends, and he's just he's an exceptional person. When I first met him, I didn't like him, because I was like, this dude is fake, man. Nobody's this nice, but he's that nice. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about him. He teaches me things without him even realizing it, But he's a very genuine person. He's a very smart person. He cares about the things that he partakes in, and he cares about people to a deep extent, and I really appreciate that about him.
I mean, I look up to my husband, I look up to my grandma, who was a very strong lady, and I feel like from her I got a lot of the just go.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do. It doesn't matter if you're tired.
So
But people stay in between.
Your whole thing is you move with speed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
Urgency,
super important.
speed, and efficiency.
Okay.
Kobe. Just his work ethic, determination, drive, just wanting to be, the best version of himself. I think that, I could take a lot of what he did in his career or his life, and I just implemented in my life. So I would definitely say Kobe.
In entrepreneurship,
Do these people have this answer already planned out because I don't know who's my role model. I don't know who I look up to specifically. I've never really thought about it. I wonder how long they had to drive for these people to come up with these answers, or if they just banged them out.
In business is Richard Branson, because he had dyslexia and had different things going against him, and he just did what he loved. And he in his book, he just talks about like one pursuit after another, and he just genuinely loves the game of entrepreneurship and the networking and building things that are great. So I just really appreciate him.
So if you were to start over, what type of business would you want to do?
Real estate. It's always, and I do real estate. I actually invest in young entrepreneurs who are doing flipping and wholesaling, and I invest in them. We do 50-50 splits, and I kind of mentor them through their flips, and it's fun to watch them. And so I would definitely be in real estate.
That's a very common answer with how people would make money is property, for good reason. You can make a lot of money in property, and she is making money through private investment, joint ventures, which is lucrative for both the investor and for the person doing all the work. A win-win for both parties.
I love it.
For sure, like I like the online space. It's where there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, look at these videos that you're doing right now.
I would do courses.
Courses?
Yeah.
Online education is crushing it.
It's big. Yeah. 2020 showed us a lot. I know so many people that were like, they come to me, I was been a fan of yours forever, and they started their thing in 2020 and they're multimillionaires now. Dang. You know what I mean? Because of courses.
Online education is so dodgy because some online education stuff, I've done some online education stuff and it's brilliant, really, really good, worth the money. And then some of it is not. Some of it is snake oil salesman. And I think it's hard to figure out who is selling the good stuff that's valuable and who isn't. I've been outspoken before about not buying courses. That really depends on what the course is, who the person is. Do your research on the person who runs the course. I know people who have online courses. I know people who have taken online courses. I've taken online courses myself. There is good stuff out there, and there's a lot of money to be made in it, but there's also shit and people who are waffling and making a lot of money. So due diligence if you're going to do some online learning.
Yep.
I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Describe a character trait that you have that you think has really helped you.
I have a strong ego. I have a healthy ego. The one notion that you hear often is that you have to kill your ego. Ego is not good. They don't want people to be strong. They don't want people to be educated. They don't want people to have real liberation, real freedom, because at that point, their positions are shaky, right? I'm confident because I am very competent and capable. If I didn't have the ego that I had, I would not take the shots that I take.
I just keep going. I never stop. And I'm very much committed and consistent with my actions matching up to the things I say I'm going to do. I feel like that's a big missing. It's easy to let yourself off the hook. Especially when you're self-employed and an entrepreneur. Yeah. You don't have to be there at 8. So, you might go to sleep a little later, you wake up a little later, and then that throws off your whole day.
That's actually like a superpower, right? Like accountability for yourself, because most people don't have that.
They don't.
Just my presence and the ability to be sure of the direction I want to go, and the goal setting, because I do a lot of goal setting. At the end of the year, I spend 2 weeks doing goal setting, and every quarter I spend 2 days reviewing my goals. And then so I think that allows me to...
I'm a big goal setter. I'm always setting goals. One of the goals is 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you haven't subscribed already, do me a favour. Thanks.
Go forth with a presence of, we are building this school, we are supporting Orangewood, we are building this business, we are going to this place or doing, and it's just without apology.
What popular entrepreneurial advice do you actually disagree with, and why?
The grind. And it's the grind. If you love it and you just really morning, noon, and night are passionate about it, I think it's great for the right results. Like, I think knowing what you really truly want first before the grind, and then go after that. Because if you're just grinding to have the 8 figures and the big house and the 5 cars and the husband or the wife, you might wake up on the other side of that and realize it's not who you are at all. The grind is great and it's fun and it's an adrenaline rush, an endorphin rush in and of itself. Being certain of what you want at the end, though, and I don't think people talk enough about that.
The fact that when people get asked a question like, what do you do? It's like, oh, you work hard and do the thing and you go all in, blah, blah, blah. Like that, really intense type of culture. It may make sense for someone who's just starting because it's like, oh yeah, I gotta put in the effort. But there's so much strategy and so much stuff into business that a successful person has to go through to really succeed. It's not just working hard.
What's an activity that...
I sort of agree with this one when this hustle culture comes into play where it's just work as hard as you can, work hard, work hard, work hard. But work hard at what? Because someone who doesn't have a lot of capital to start with, they're not sure what direction to go in. Work hard isn't the best advice because they don't know what to work hard at, if that makes sense. Work hard it's good advice, but you need to. A lot of people don't know what they're meant to be working hard at.
You think all entrepreneurs should, invest a significant amount of time into?
Thinking and making decisions. I think that's what you get paid to do as a CEO, right? But I don't think people really understand what it truly means to think. You should spend more time thinking about what you're going to do than actually taking action on what you're going to do, which is very reverse of what most people might say. Because, in my opinion, if you have the discipline to do the work, that should be the least of your worries. I think you have to be really strategic about how you work.
Preparation, for sure. Like if, you don't really have a plan and not knowing what you're going to do, and you say you're going to do something, but you don't really have a plan to execute. Writing things down, taking actionable steps, and then, just putting everything into motion, making calls, asking people for advice that you look up to or expert in the field, and, try to see if they can lead you down the right path.
Self-improvement, 1,000 million %. Because you need to be getting better, you need to be learning, you need to learn from people that are proven that you want to be like. Look at right now, especially. This
is true, and this is not just true of self-improvement in the reading books type of way, or going to college or university, buying courses, even watching YouTube videos. You watching this video to see what these people are saying and what my opinion is on what they are saying, that's self-development in some cases. Not all YouTube videos are self-improvement, obviously. This video can be construed as self-improvement or entertainment because I'm reacting to finance content, but my other videos where I'm not reacting to content, I'm just making my own, talking about property, investing, that's self-improvement. Watching things like that, listening to podcasts, watching documentaries. I think you should always be trying to do something to improve yourself. I absolutely agree with this one.
Market shift, at least for our industry, right? A lot of people I'm noticing, we're big on mindset. I can see them freaking out, and this is where everything you're learning, the knowledge, the information, regardless of what the media is saying, you have to do your own due diligence. And when you do your own due diligence, then you can draw up your own conclusions, but with facts. So you don't have to take it all. You take a little bit of what you believe in, and then you build your own mindset or core values, rules.
What's one piece of advice you would leave to any young?
This is exactly what I mean by podcasts, YouTube videos, books, all the various different things that you can learn from. You might not share the same opinion as everyone in this video. You might not share the same opinion as me, but you might share one of my opinions. You might share the same opinion as someone else in a podcast. You might learn something else that helps you form your own opinions and your own theories on things and how you want to do things. And this all comes from self-improvement, self-development.
Person that wants to be a successful entrepreneur.
Learn from every single thing that you are doing, and everything that you're going through is part of the process, and you do always have to be looking for opportunities, and you got to be ready for opportunities, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure you're doing it with everything that you have. And what I mean by this is be really focused. It doesn't matter what it is, because for example, me, I was the best waitress, I was the best hostess, I was the best bartender. But why? Because I was so submerged into what I was doing that then I'm like, oh, giving everything that you
in hell. So, thanks to my camera that I think cost me about £700, you would think it would be able to film longer than 40 minutes, half an hour, but it has decided that it doesn't want to work anymore, so we are going to have to cut this one short without finding out what people's advice is for future entrepreneurs, because my camera's internal temperature is too high. Please enjoy these captions on your screen instead of actual video content of me, because it's all I've got to work with here. Thank you as always for watching, folks. Please remember and subscribe. A few weeks until the end of the year. I really want to try and hit 2,000 subscribers, and I know that's a big ask when there is currently no video attached to this YouTube video. It's just my voice. Jesus Christ. Subscribe anyway. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Take it easy.